G'day folks, Andy here from McDowall Manor. A little bit of a harvest of kangkong leaves and silver beet leaves with even the odd cabbage leaf. This big boy here, he's off a Brazilian spinach. No, I'm lying, it's a Ceylon spinach. So we've got a few different leaves there. I've got some with a little bit of mankiness that I'm going to cut off, obviously. But I thought I'd show you what I do with all these greens. So we're going to cook a Spanakopita. It's a silver beet and cheese pie. So we start by dicing and frying a couple of onions, so we'll do that, and I'll rinse those silver beet stalks and add a whole bunch of them to the onion mix. I like to cook mine first. So there's our stems and our onion in together. We'll give that a fry up. It's been obviously the stems and stuff have been washed because they've come from outside. Now you can see I've got quite a pile of greens there. Any of those leaves that are even vaguely manky will get tossed. They'll go straight back in the compost. That's alright, there's bloody more than enough in there, so the world will be a good place. Now I don't cook them, so they'll get a wash and dried and shoved straight into the mixing bowl, where I'll add the onions and the stems when they're cooked. So I'll try to give you a look at the recipe here. I like to try and include that in. I don't always do it. In terms of sticking exactly to the recipe. Hopefully you can pause that enough that you'll be able to, between the video and the recipe, you'll pull it off. This came from a website called taste.com.au, which I use a lot. But anyway, let's get back to making it. There's our cooked onions and stems. There's our well washed and chopped up best parts of the leaves. Going to add those two together now. Going to whisk up 5 eggs from the girls. The recipe says 4, but my girls lay a fairly small egg at the moment. So we'll do 5, whisk that up, throw that into the mix. Eggs are in now. I added a little bit of cream. The only reason I did that was because I had it spare and I thought, bugger that, I'll use it. Now, you need about 400 grams of cheese for this. I've got 100 grams of feta, so I'm going to use that. That's 300 grams of feta, ricotta, give or take. So we're going to add that as well. We're going to season that with pepper, nutmeg, dill. Recipe says you can use parsley and stuff if you want. I don't bother. I might throw a bit of salt in because I haven't used much feta. If you use a lot of feta, for goodness sake, don't throw in too much salt because it'll be salty as all get out. There we go. We're going to give that a good mix up. Might put the oven on now. Preheat that to 180. No, 160. So preheat to 160. Also allowing some sheets of phyllo pastry to frost, so that'll be manageable. I tend to put some in the bottom of it, maybe sometimes a bit in the middle, and then definitely some on top. Sometimes I'll leave out the bit in the middle. Just do whatever floats your boat, folks. So that's the bottom layers of phyllo. I was using up some broken bits there. May as well, it's on the bottom. You can see it's wet. I tend to spray with an olive oil spray. Now the truth is you probably only need to do that between layers on the top, and it's designed to stop it burning. But I guess once you get in the habit of it, you kind of just do it, you know. So maybe leave that out, maybe include it, whatever works for you. There's our mix. I'm going to start and ladle that into our dish there. Mixture's in. It's been relatively flattened. I'll add the phyllo on top of that and then I'll pop her in the oven. Well, that's in. I'll check it in about 30 minutes. So it ended up in there for about an hour. I did turn it up to 180 in the end just to brown it a bit. So there's your final product. About to dish it out. Yeah, it looks okay. That's been a bit useful in terms of how to use some of your backyard produce. So is it any good? Well, I think so. I really enjoy it. Like I say, it's something different. Great way of using up those greens, folks. Especially if you like cheese and onion with it.